Hi guys and welcome back to Tommy's Starcraft. This is your host Tommy with another Starcraft Remastered replay for you guys. Once again we have a great engagement in between the two pro players from the South Korean scenes. This game has been played in the year 2012 and the map is called Longinus from the ICC Cup. Now let me just start by introducing the players to you guys. As we have spawning here in the upper left in the white, it is Stork, a very strong and talented gamer. At his best he was actually the second best Protoss after Bisu, of course. And his opponent here spawning at what is this, the 3 o'clock position in the blue, it is Sharp, also very strong and talented Terran player here. So yeah, really interesting. Once again, Protoss versus Terran we have here on this channel. We have seen of course many Protosses versus Terran here on this channel. So we do know that actually most Terrans really like to go into mechanical units, into tanks, into the siege tanks, into vultures and into Goliaths later on, if the Protoss goes of course for some carrier gameplay here. Now when it comes to the Protoss, of course we've seen lots and lots of Protoss to go for a lot of gateway units like Zealots, Dragoons, backed up by those Reavers. Perhaps Psionic Storm is also a possibility, and later on of course either Arbiter or carriers would also be an option here, as both players opening up here really standard with a pylon and gateway here for Stork. And there's a nice supply depot here for Sharp. This might once again indicate was like many Terrans do this. They really like to block here their entrance just to secure here the expansion. So yeah, already at the 1:40 mark, Sharp is sending out here his first scouting SCV towards the main here from Stork. He's very lucky and he's going to see a pretty standard opening up here. So pylon into gateway and then gas of course much needed for those Dragoons. And yeah, like we've seen in previous replays, Dragoons early on really good against the Terran here. So yeah, let's just see the follow up here. There's that cybernetic score, the SCV sees everything and he's pretty much perhaps going to be a little bit annoying here, just makes his way around just to see exactly when the first Dragoon will pop up, but still the cybernetic score has to finish. Is going to be annoying just like in Starcraft 2. So it's going to deny here a little bit of a mining time here against the ropes, but actually he's just a thief. He just stole some minerals and look at that, he's even going for this one probe. Now at the same time Stork believes that Sharp is in the lower left, as this SCV was very fast here for Sharp, but no, he has to reposition of course and to go into the other way. There's that second gateway here for the Stork. This is being noticed of course by this SCV, so Sharp might have to face early on some aggression here. So yeah, let's just see, the first Dragoon is being made here by Stork. No Zealots yet out here for him, so we might see an early aggression here with those Dragoons. Of course Dragoons with range could be very good here against this position. There is no bunker yet here for the Terran, and in comes that probe, but the way is already shut here by Sharp. So Stork pretty much thinks now that Sharp is going in indeed for a fast expansion, but at the same time Sharp might change his tactic, as he saw that double gate here from Stork, so he knows that an aggression must come here towards his way. So immediately his factory is almost here being finished. The add-on will also be added here, and the first tank will also have to come out as quickly as possible just to secure his disposition in here. Perhaps the tank can be sieged up into this location just to do damage against Stork, and Stork already really fast here, moving in here forward with this one Dragoon, as Sharp already takes here some damage. So yeah, really nice early aggression here by Stork with this Dragoon. Many Dragoons will follow up. I do see them here on the map. Actually Stork splits up his troops, perhaps he wishes to kill this SCV in here. Indeed, he goes straight for this SCV just to deny that time here. Let's have a look. Nice repairing now going on from Sharp, and Stork still at a 2 gateway push here. So yeah, the SCV has been killed. Really good job here by Stork. It's the Dragoon with that 1 kill, so nice job here by him. And once again the killing is going on. The supply depot takes some damage, but in comes that tank and it's going to be nicely be positioned in here, and with that range he should of course deal some damage, but it also gets spotted here by these Dragoons. So of course Sharp needs to be as careful as possible, as the siege tank ability will very soon follow. But there's already 4 Dragoons here into this position. The tank even gets immediately repaired here by those mechanics, and now we have that siege tank ability, and really good job here by Sharp needs to be careful, however, the supply depot taking so much damage and it's getting killed here, but in the end this tank has done so much splash damage here towards those dragoons as Stork has to retreat, and in the end Sharp would have been able to block this entrance with some SCVs, and here is even that second siege tank. So Sharp holds his early aggression, both players are at a 23-24 worker count, and yes, Stork feeling very confident. He is parking here his dragoons into the front from Sharp, not allowing any army move out yet, and just notices exactly when this when an SCV is going to fall up, but the dragoons are on hold position, so this is a nice sneaky SCV here for Sharp. As if it makes it, he's going to detect this expansion, and even look at that, a very greedy gameplay here by Stork with that second expansion. So really nice job here by Sharp, moving out, making it through that dragoon line here. So very greedy gameplay here by Stork, followed up by a robotics facility. So we might see some drops here by Stork. There's that observatory, of course much needed if the Terran goes for some vultures, for some mines. Many more factories are being built here as the SCV slowly but steadily makes it here through, but the dragoon will be a little bit faster here. So yeah, Sharp just wishes to know if the Stork has expanded or not, but this dragoon nicely taking care of this. So a small advantage here by Sharp as he has these dragoons into the front of this expansion here. He feels so confident that he even went for another expansion here after the 5-minute mark here. So really nice gameplay here by him as his probe count will rise so much here for him. And let's have a look what exactly he has prepared. He's going even into some more gateway units here. So like I told you, many Protosses really like to send waves after waves of zealots with dragoons, and perhaps later on backed up with some carriers, perhaps some arbiters. So yeah, let's just have a look what the Terran is going to be building. He's going for more and more vultures in here. Second factory is also up here by him, as some turrets have been also placed here just in case Stork is coming in with some DTs. So nice placement here. Those turrets can of course detect those invisible units. Much important building here for the Terran as Stork is pumping even more and more units out. Also secures his disposition in case another SCV will move out here for Sharp. Also nice placed observer here, needs to be careful against this turret. So yeah, makes it here into the main seas here. Everything sees another factory, even 5 factories now almost up here for Sharp. So he knows exactly what is coming towards his main. As tanks, of course, upgraded tanks with vultures and no Goliaths yet. Of course, there is no air. Will be very strong. Those vultures have been upgraded with their speed. One will closely be taken out here. So this is why this position here is so important. At the same time, another position here being secured here on Longinus. Really great gameplay here by Stork as he knows the map. He knows exactly the points of evasion. And yeah, even well, Sharp could of course went for a starport and just dropped those vultures, but in the end, no, even more and more factories are being made here by him. So he's good, just perhaps going to try to bust here through with a really nice push, as both players are pretty much at the same supply and the same SCV count. So in comes the push here. One SCV a little bit, the one tank a little bit exposed, but more and more is being added here by Sharp. So pretty soon he will of course move out just to see exactly what Stork is up to. And yeah, placing here his mine defensively. Stork does has however some SCVs, sorry, some observers here. So really great move out here with those vultures here, but still he didn't take out yet no dragoon. However, the mines have been placed here. Excuse me. And the splash damage is real here as he's even moving out here into this position. He might take out a probe or two. No, he's just checking the other proximity, just laying here his mine, and here we go. Some probes will very likely fall in here, but the vultures also taking so much damage here. In the end, Stork did lose 3 probes here, so nice drive by here by Stork as he's by Sharp, sorry, as he's slowly but steadily moving out here with his tanks. But this is getting observed of course by Stork with his observer as we're slowly but steadily making it here through the 10-minute mark here, and a new position here in the middle of the map. Let's have a look what his shuttle has. Some zealots, of course the zealots will very likely be dropped here on those siege tanks. As you know, those siege tanks will very likely then deal splash damage to themselves, so Stork is just waiting for a siege up here. And is he going to drop? No, he's just going to retreat a little bit, as there's just so many siege tanks here with the vultures. And even another turret is being added here as detection against invisible units. But yeah, slowly but still, even more and more gateways are being added. I don't see the building, the Templar Archives for those Dark Templars. So yeah, it is still going to be Zealots with Dragoons. In come the Zealots in the front. They're very important just to soak up those mines, just to go straight into the army line here from the Terran. The Terran has to retreat, of course. Those Zealots soaking up all that damage, all of those mines, and even dealing splash damage here towards the forces from the Terran. So really great job here by Stork. A really nice engagement after the 10-minute mark, and this should be his first small victory here for Stork, as he has indeed killed here so many units. Actually, it's a very big important victory for him, as Sharp has dropped 270 supply in here. Those Zealots even killing more and more of those mines, but right now there is no observer, so Stork still has to wait in here. Finally in comes that observer, is very likely going to kill here this position. Sharp feeling very confident, moving here out on the map. Perhaps he's going to place some mines in here, but he will very likely go straight into this mineral line. So really good job here by him, killing so many probes here. Once again, Stork in a little bit of trouble. Finally he has to place, of course, a defensive cannon into this position, and even rebuilding now his probe count. So really great first engagement goes, of course, to Stork. And yeah, once again a repositioning here by Stork. Speed legs have been upgraded. Let's just check those upgrades. 0 to 0 still. Have a look at the tanks, also 0 to 0. And what can be the answer now here from Sharp? His wishes, of course, to expand, but Stork is here into the next proximity, knocking here once again at the door from Sharp. And yeah, Sharp might be in a little bit of trouble, as Stork has more supply, even sends out here first Zealot in the front. The Zealot even makes it here close to this proximity, so Stork is very confident. However, this choke point is very close here. Sadly for Stork, he did lose that shuttle. In comes those Zealots, making it straight here towards that tank line, but in the end Sharp is going to hold here, and this battle, this engagement goes now to Sharp. So of course the supply depot here with this small choke point was in the favor from Sharp. So nice job here by him, as he's closing in now at a 100 supply versus the 130 supply here by Stork. So Stork needs to be careful not to do any mistakes, as he will very likely lose so many units thanks to that splash damage from the mines, thanks to the splash damage from those tanks. So what a great game we have here. More and more mechanical units will be added here by Sharp. I don't see a starport yet. Starport will be, of course, much needed in case Stork goes for some, there's that Stark goes for some Arbiter gameplay, and I'm pretty sure that Arbiters will be added with this Stargate in here, as there is that Arbiter Tribune. So really great addition here for the Protosses, especially with those stasis fields and the fact that they, of course, the Arbiters make the units from the Protoss invisible. This of course means for Sharp that he has to go for a science vessel just to detect those units, those invisible units. At the same time he will cast EMP shockwave with that science vessel, also much needed against the Arbiter and even against the units from the Protoss, as all of their shields will fall here. Now once again Stork is doing a really nice job here, almost denying here this expansion, but the siege tanks are on point. So in comes Stork once again with those Zealots in the front. Vultures are defending, however, the siege tanks in here, and more is being added. So this time Sharp nicely holding here this position. Excuse me. And yeah, Stork has to reposition. He's only left here with some Dragoons. He's spreading his forces, really doesn't wish to allow this what is going on here. Oh, this turret was just killing that observer. Really interesting enough how those rockets were flying around. So yeah, Stork really wishes not to allow here the expansion from Sharp. At the same time he has expanded into this position, so really great gameplay here by him. However, worker wise they're both at the same count, 54. We have a small engagement in here. Sharp really wants to bust through, places here his mines, so those Dragoons will take some splash damage. No, actually Stork nicely microing them, nicely kiting them back and forward, as they killed those mines. So Stork into this position, at the same time into this position here, and Sharp in a little bit of trouble. He's even adding now a dropship, so dropship perhaps just to harass the mineral line of the expansion here by Stork. But Stork was really aggressive in this game. Look at all of this army's composition in here, not allowing any army move out here by Sharp, so Sharp has to turtle up, has to stay at his home and just place those defensive mines. Even more units are being added here by Stork. Look, did he upgrade? Finally, weapons 1 upgrade is being done, and that Arbiter should also follow up here really soon. There's that Arbiter. So will we see some starports here with that? Yeah, there's that starport. So pretty soon he's going to be building, of course, that science vessel, a much needed counter towards that Arbiter. Finally, in comes Sharp. She really wishes to expand into this position, but he needs to be careful. And look at that, we have the first drop here, really nice drop here by Sharp, killing some of those probes, but Stork already ready for that with some cannons into this position, making sure that his probes stay alive. At the same time, Sharp knows that he has to move out, he knows that he has to expand, take this expansion here, so the units from Stork are really exposed here. They're nicely being splitted here, but they're not grouped together, so this is an advantage for Sharp in here, as he's slowly but steadily moving out here, even adding some Goliaths as a anti-air here towards those Arbiters. Siege tanks also nicely positioned here, and really great mining fields here for Sharp, as he finally secures here his position. Stork at 61 workers versus the 53. Let's just have a look at the follow-up here. Stork still into the near proximity here for Sharp. Has 2 groups of his armies in here, almost closing in here at being maxed out at 200. We might see also a recall here from this Arbiter, of course. Many Protosses do like to use that recall just to teleport all of those units perhaps into this proximity. There are not that many mines here being laid, or into this proximity also not that many mines here by the Terran, so the production buildings could be at threat. We need to have a close eye here onto this Arbiter, as there's also nicely placed observers here into the proximity from Sharp. And at the same time, look at that, he's even expanding into this position with so many cannons in here, and even add somewhat gateways. Yes, indeed it is gateway, of course, with cannons in here. So great macro orientated game here by Stork, as he's also Sharp is also trying to expand into this position. And yes, Stork having here a small advantage. He's actually moving here forward. A ballsy move here by him, as there's so many mines here on the ground. There's one observer in here, so in comes Stork, but his Arbiter taking so much damage. I don't know if this was a wise decision here by him, but I guess he's feeling very confident given the fact that he's close to being maxed out in here. Not that many siege tanks. The siege tanks will not be in range yet, as those vultures need to take care now of those dragoons. So with this expansion, of course, from Stork is able to lose some of his units. And yeah, look at that, he's even leaving those dragoons out on hold position in here, and finally moves out here with those siege tanks. Yes, Stork just buying some time here for this expansion, even having more and more gateways nearby Sharp in here, so he's going to pump even more and more units towards him. The observer also nicely spots here this place, as Sharp wishes, of course, to expand into this location. Stork already at almost 1500 minerals. Yes, he's maxed out, so this is why he tried this push. But given the fact that there is an Arbiter on the map, you might try a recall. He just has to be very careful with his Arbiter and just select exactly the good position. We're closing here at the 20 minute mark here. Stork is thinking, of course, about an attack, but where exactly is it going to happen? Needs to be careful against the science vessel, against that EMP shockwave. And once again, Stork is splitting up here his army, one in the middle of the map, the other one will very likely try this position in here, where there's so many mines and so many siege tanks. So here we go, some dragoons are already out in the front, and perhaps he's going to be trying to buy some time here for that Arbiter. And in comes some zealots in here, but they won't make it here through against this mineral line and against those vultures with siege tanks. So sending here out more and more zealots, perhaps just to clear some of those mines. Once again, an army move out here by Stork. We need to have a close eye here on that Arbiter. Is he going to make it here soon? No, it's just an observer here by him. There's that Arbiter, perhaps going to try to find another position, perhaps into this expansion in here. Stork really is taking his decision now. Some vultures will of course be transferred into this position just to secure it against push here. There's two Arbiters now, so Stork might try a pincer maneuver in here. Still he is maxed out. Sharp also close to being maxed out here, so really great macro oriented game we have here by both players. As strangely enough, Stork is going into this position in here. Even the scan goes out here, so I don't really understand why exactly he went into this position. Perhaps he saw that there was army here by Sharp, but there is no such thing. This location is getting spotted here, but there's so many mines here on the ground, so with a recall he will take of course much splash damage. Really great job here by Sharp with those mines. These mines are of course the great counter here against the Arbiter recall, and here we go. Here is that Arbiter, but is it going to be a recall? Yes indeed, there's that recall, even adding another Arbiter in here. Nice position here found by Stork, as there were no mines into this position. This observer very important here for him, as he did spot the minefields here in the back. Really great job here by him denying this expansion here by the Terran, and he even is closing it at the 5k miner mark, so really great job here by him. He's also prepared here. Sharp is also moving out. He knows that he has to do something here. Stork is confident. He knows that he can lose this army composition here, but even adds a nice stasis trap here against the Terran. He knows exactly that he can lose all of his units here because his economy is so strong, and he will pump up more zealots in here and even more dragoons. So yeah, another army move out is coming in here for this position. Stork really losing so much here, but he needs to be careful. But like I told you guys, his economy is allowing him to do this, as he even cancelled here this expansion. And look at that, slowly but steadily Stork is recovering here. He even added another expansion here. However, Sharp is slowly also moving out here on the map. Those Goliaths are dealing so much damage here against Stork. Stork needs to be a little bit careful. He's going to lose those Arbiters, and yeah, all of a sudden he has fallen at 2600 minerals in here. Is this going to be a recall? No, it's just a casual Arbiter flying here around, as the reinforcements from Stork are coming in here. It is of course dragoons, and I even see some other dragoons here on the map, as so much map awareness is here given by Stork. Sharp tries of course to cancel now the expansion here from Stork, but Stork coming in here from all the sides, and even having so many cannons here into this position. Finally the vultures are in the back with some mines, but Stork is coming in with those zealots once again. Nice scanning here, but those zealots will deal so much splash damage here towards those units from the Terran. Once again a great stasis trap here by that Arbiter, and all of a sudden Sharp's units are falling so low here for him. And yeah, even though Stork did lose so many minerals, he fell at, look at that, even pumping even more units out of those gateways. And yeah, out of 5k mineral he's all of a sudden at 3k, but it was all worth it given the fact that he is once again at a full supply versus the only 127 supply here by Sharp long distance mining here a little bit. And once again Stork is regrouping, and perhaps this time he's going to go straight here for this expansion. If he wins this expansion, it's a very important strategic placement. Incomes even those high templars with that psionic storm, very important. See zealots once again in the front taking all of that splash damage. Another stasis trap, great stasis trap here by Stork. Those tanks clumped up together here will be taken out of the game. And yes, Stork is bringing here his main force. He will of course lose some units, he will of course have some casualties, but in the end it will be of course much worth it, as this expansion has of course fall here. And yes, Stork even with more and more dragoons here, and that is going to be of course the GG. No GG yet for Sharp, but it was a very good game, a very aggressive game here by Stork with those dragoons, with those 5 dragoons early on into this position, and even this position, nicely securing here the map here for him, giving him the advantage just to expand all over the map. Let's just quickly check those stats if you guys are interested. So here we go. Once again I'm going to be clicking left and right. Great macro oriented game once again. Stork is of course not to have that much APM, look at that, he's only at 250 APM, but a very calculated and a very smart player here. Really doing a great job here against Sharp. So nice matchup here on Longinus. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be seeing you of course in the next replay. This is Tommy signing out.